Welcome to the Morning Omelette. I'm James Trinkle Clements.
And I'm Justin Bobbitt.
And we have a lot of things going in the omelet this morning.
Yes, we do. It's been a busy day.
A very busy day. But on the previous show, which we talked about Greensboro, Georgia, which look at that if you get a chance, I had an unveiling of this and had people guess what it was. And for those of you who didn't see that show, you guessed it was a Japanese puzzle box.
Yes.
No one has guessed what it is who's come over to my house. So the unveiling is, it's a telephone.
The most handcrafted telephone that has ever existed.
From a CEO's desk, we are sure.
Yes.
And I'm sure during the show, our director will give us some phone calls with some stuff he wants us to do.
The booth generally keeps us busy.
It does. I wanted to mention something I saw in the Epic Times, which is a great newspaper. I'm going to talk about mind and body section in a little bit. Have you ever put a message in a bottle when you're on a ship or at the beach and phone number and you just thrown it out? Have you?
I did one time, but I'm pretty sure it just came right back in. Okay. My dog collected it, and I was like, well, that's not going to work.
Well, my late wife, Sandy, and I used to cruise quite a bit, and we were in, somewhere down in the Bahamas. And I drank wine at the time, so every wine bottle I finished, and we were on the back of the ship.
Perfect place.
The aft, and I would put phone number, address, a little note in it, put the cork back in it, and throw the wine bottle over. And probably the last one I did was 10 years ago. Well, I'd thrown this particular one over, and I date all of them. About 5 years later, I get a phone call from a fellow in Louisiana who found it.
That thing traveled.
Yeah, it traveled. And he worked as an oceanographer, which was pretty cool. So he said, I was just walking along, and we were doing some studies, and I saw this bottle. Then I picked it up, and I said, there's a note in there. So it's only one. I've thrown many over. And after a lot of wine, I got lucky I didn't throw myself over.
There's still some there out in the wild.
Okay, and which leads me to this story. It's a segue to this story, Justin. This week in history, message received. On August 21st, 2015, the oldest known message in a bottle was discovered washed ashore in Germany. 108 years prior, Parker Bitter, a British scientist, conducted an experiment dropping 1,020 bottles into the sea. This bottle was found by Marianne Winkler in Aarau, Germany, with a postcard inside accompanied by a request to send it back to the Marine Biological Association of the United Kingdom.
I'm going to guess that the address had likely changed on that return.
Yeah, I think it probably has. But 108 years, that is amazing. Message in a bottle. All right.
Well, you were telling me earlier you had to buy some glasses and had a less than ideal experience finding just variety.
Well, variety, and it seemed everywhere you go, the glasses looked the same, but the prices were really a lot different. Now, I love these glasses. They're called Silhouette. I've tried to find a duplicate of them. I can't. They're over $700 with the lenses. And you pick up a cell phone and you think of all the technology in a cell phone, and then you pick up these glasses. These got to be 20 or 30 times what they should be. I mean, really, give me a break.
Well, there's apparently a bit of a reason for that. Luxottica, I'm sure you've heard the name somewhere before. They apparently own every brand that you can think of when it comes to sunglasses, glasses, in the stores. So just to name a few, they own Costa del Mar, Ray-Bans, Vogue, many brands from out of the country that are just typed under different names. Giorgio Armani, Polo, Prada, Ralph Lauren, Coach, Dolce & Gabbana. So all of these companies are under one umbrella. And what makes things a little worse is the stores are also owned by Luxottica. And the number 2 Vision Insurance Company is also owned by Luxottica. So they are manufacturing, selling, and covering the insurance end. So all the prices are just artificially inflated. They own Target Optical, Pearl Vision, Lens Crafters, Sunglass Hut, just everywhere. And the few companies that go to war with them, it doesn't end well. There's a famous story of Oakley. They were in, it was not Lens Crafters, they were in Sunglass Hut. And they refused to do some of the price negotiations that Luxottica wanted. So Luxottica stopped carrying Oakleys, which tanked their price, and then Luxottica bought them. So they put them to the brink of the end, but there is hope. There are a few different companies you need to know about if you are sunglass or just glasses shopping. My brother personally speaks well of Warby Parker.
Me too. I have their sunglasses.
Their price starts at about $95. They do have insurance providing in the event you have vision insurance. Another great company, Amber Eyewear, AMBR. They start at $56. In the cheapest one that I could find, I cannot speak for it. I've never bought them, but I buy direct. They have a stated starting price of $6.
Wow.
Yeah. Could be refurbished, and contacts as well. I buy my contacts from Hubble. They deliver them
from the telescope?
Right. For $33 a month.
That would be good.
They're at my door. Yeah. Yeah, I can see everywhere. But for $33 a month, they deliver them to your door. I never run out. I don't have to go to Walmart or any vision center, which in the world of COVID is nice and convenient, not having to leave your house and having them dropped right off at the door.
Well, I've noticed on the frames and different optical places, I've been to Lens Crafters, you name them, I've been there. I've seen the same frames stamped with different names, and that's Luxottica.
Yep.
And it's a great stock. I used to buy their stock because I knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
But that's been years ago when I bought their stock. Now, they're just overwhelming. Obviously, they must be located out of the United States, or that would be a monopoly and antitrust violation. So,
well, and I love Ray-Bans, but I came into buying sunglasses. The cheapest Ray-Bans that I could find were always $120, $130, and that was on sale. You were telling me that Ray-Bans, that wasn't the case.
No, I used to get them at the drugstore in the 60s. Go up there, it'd be Ray-Ban sunglasses and Polaroid sunglasses, you name them. But no more.
No.
The ones Tom Cruise wore, they were everywhere.
Yeah. Just on the little revolving,
15,
spinning,
$20.
Gas station glasses.
Yeah, gas station glasses. And just like they went the way of gas station maps, by the way.
Yes. Well, Luxottica also owns Ray-Ban, so they have...
they have upped the price. Usually only about 6 times, so don't worry. Yeah. But I do highly recommend Warby Parker, and they have a freestanding store here in Jacksonville. Well, we're not in Jacksonville, but close by. And they don't quite have some of the selections in the lighter weight frames that I hope somebody duplicates these.
And they send you, what is it, a box of 4 or 6?
Yeah, if you do it by mail, you can pick out, I think it is 4 or 5 frames. They send the frames to your house. You try them on, different size frame, large, medium, and you decide which ones you want, or which one you want. You send them back, say, I've chosen this one. Then you have a chart where you measure your eye, and it's all been pretty accurate. I've got to tell you, it's been...
I need new glasses. I've destroyed mine. So
and the good thing about it, if you're not happy, 100% refunded. We'll redo them. We'll take care of you.
I'll take that.
I'll take that any day.
You were telling me some interesting, I thought I knew everything about our body and its needs, but you came up with some interesting vitamin studies here.
Yeah. In the Epic Times, they do a section called Mind and Body. Highly recommend the newspaper, and we'll put a little link below. But what the doctors are finding in COVID and COVID deaths and COVID illness, they do blood tests for everything. Extremely low vitamin D levels, which is critical for your immune system to have the right amount of vitamin D. Now, we're in the sunshine state, so we usually get it if we go out.
We're avoiding vitamin D right now.
Yeah, I go out about 8 in the morning for about 15 minutes, right out there.
That's all you can stand.
My lawn chair, yeah. August is horrible here. But, and get the vitamin D. You can take, obviously, vitamin D. But what they have found is you must have, fresh air and sunshine. Have we heard that? We really need to get, if you can just walk some, if you can get out, expose yourself to the sun. I know dermatologists say, put on the sunscreen. Yeah, if you're going to be out 40 minutes, an hour, but do not put on sunscreen for 15 minutes because you can't absorb the vitamin D. People don't understand that. You're also blocking the good stuff. So, and it's so important. And they're saying with those low levels makes the recovery so much harder. I like to say one thing about the numbers of deaths of COVID-19. In our logo, Hacking the Truth, we have those scales and we have those little blocks. And let's say there are 10 blocks, and the 10th block will make that scale tilt. So if you, and they're all different colors. Say you take the orange one and you put it on top, and that 10th block, that scale goes down. Did that one block cause it? No, it's all the other 9 blocks in addition to that. So with COVID, if you're overweight, if you have a compromised immune system, high blood pressure, diabetes, COVID-19 didn't kill you. It may have been 10% or 15% of the reason. Get healthy.
Yeah.
That's not what killed you. So those numbers are skewed. I think you can at least cut them in half by 50%, because if the test subject is already ill,
COVID just threw that extra.
It's just enough to tilt that scale.
Straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, all those sayings we have.
Well, and with vitamins, especially with COVID-19, getting outdoors, sometimes you have to remember just to do it. You sometimes have to just get out.
Yeah.
It's good for your mental health, and a lot of people aren't thinking just because you're physically healthy, you can go crazy indoors. You need to get out. You need to socialize, not necessarily in person. You've got FaceTime. We're the most connected we've ever been, but we're still somehow the most disconnected we've ever been.
I'm 6 blocks from the ocean. I see people walking the neighborhood and go down to the beach. Obviously, people walk the beach. And I look at them, and they're talking on a cell phone.
Yeah.
And they're doing this, and they're texting. Leave the cell phone at home. Look around.
Apparently,
feel your environment.
Musicians across the board are angry that people come to their concerts to then hold their phone up
and block my view
and record the concert so they can watch it later and remember the time where they recorded it. Yeah, it's enjoy life.
They're pushing their babies in the stroller, talking, and the baby's mama. Yeah. One of my pet peeves.
So in odd space news, the International Space Station's Japanese team did an incredible study and found that a ball of bacteria survived, or can survive, for about 3 years in the vacuum of space. And that leads to, there's a theory called panspermia, and get your mind out of the gutter. It's about how we all came to be. But they think that bacteria hitchhiked in on a comet or an asteroid, and that's how we all ended up here. So the microbes that they tested, they put them in the vacuum of space, and the outer layer did die. But what's incredible is thin as a millimeter, half a millimeter deep. The outside of the bacteria died and used it as a blanket. And the inner bacteria lived and can live just a half a millimeter deep, up to 8 years in the vacuum of space. So you think if it's in the core of an asteroid, or it could realistically live indefinitely.
And I was watching a show, which I told you about. They were in an ice cave. I believe it was Antarctica, and they were doing ice samples, and they knew they were going to find microbes somewhere, and you see this little black worm, then they're ice worms living in that environment.
I'm going to try to find that to put on the screen because I think they need to see that. That is incredible, but this lends itself to the idea that we might have hitchhiked in on a...
Well, the core of comets is frozen. So what does it contain? Water. When it crashes, if it has bacteria, the bacteria will live in the water And first we thought it had to be an Earth environment. Now we're finding out extreme colds, extreme heat, the bacteria lives. And when the planet becomes ripe for life, what happens? Well, life happens again. So very interesting.
Well, and things get knocked off planets. That's how we ended up with our moon.
That's
A
true.
massive impact blew off large chunks and over millions of years collected itself into a moon.
That's right. It was part of Earth one time. I bet people don't know that. I didn't know that for a while.
Well, it's so much farther than we think it is too. So while we're taping here, Hurricane Laura.
Oh boy.
Yeah. They're thinking it's going to be a Category 4 by the time it hits. By the time this comes out, if there's any relief fund or any way you can help, I'll have that down.
Hold on. Got phone's ringing. Phone's ringing.
Hopefully Control's going to give us something useful here.
Hello. Okay. Category 3. All right. 120 to 125. Gotcha. They think the winds will be 120 to 125.
Which puts storm surge, they guessed, between, 15 and 20 feet, and then waves?
Well, they said 12 to 15 right now.
Yeah.
But
so hopefully it stays
But
where
it's intensifying as it gets closer to shore.
And
which is not a good thing, the storm surge. I'm sure most of you have seen the devastation caused by tidal waves. It's like a mini tidal wave. 10 to 15 feet, even moving at 10 to 15 miles an hour is so destructive. There's not much left.
No. And if it moves a little bit to the east, we find New Orleans again. If we move a little bit to the west, we're back at Houston.
Yeah, Galveston, Corpus Christi, all, Hey, what are we talking about? We live in Florida.
Yeah.
So
we're usually the target, but
which
put us in a funny position because most of us for years have kind of made jokes of the doomsday preppers and getting ready for the apocalypse.
Yeah, about the riots in the cities and what are you going to do? I don't hear many jokes about them anymore.
No,
people are. I'm sure they're searching, prepping, living off the grid.
Where can I hide?
Safest city in America. What? I guarantee it's happening.
Yeah.
They're fleeing New York like crazy.
Well, and speaking of big waves, I showed you that tsunami ball that I'll show up on the screen here, where you can just strap yourself in.
Oh, yeah, that was cool. I want that for the beach, just to ride waves. I'll be like Laird Hamilton in Hawaii or wherever he goes and rides. So, hey, tow the ball out. I'll get in the ball. Yeah.
It's just like two racing seats that are just, you strap yourself in and go for the ride. Oh, my God, that would be a ride.
What if it goes over the whole earth and you're the only person left? You climb
in your little orange pod.
Hi.
Yeah.
We make light of it, but what do you do during a tsunami?
Yeah. I'd rather have the orange pod to climb in than start running up a hill.
It's so destructive. A tornado's coming, you can go below ground.
I think I'd still probably... Well, the pod might be a bad idea for a tornado.
Yeah, it'd be a bad idea. But then very interesting thing.
Yeah.
Well, we will do another morning omelet very soon. Thank you for... hold on. What is it? Okay. Yeah. Right. Gotcha. We're going to do another morning omelet today. Okay. Well, when the director says that, the director says
we'll do it.
All right. And we'll see you next time
on Hacking the Truth.